Hello, YouTube and their crypto enthusiasts, and welcome to another episode of Equibit Crypto. Today we are looking at Willy Woo's schematic of Bitcoin growth, and I'm going to explain it to you because Willy is really too smart to make sense at times for people who are not that experienced in crypto. So I'm going to do my best to make his chart a little bit easier to explain. But before we do that, remember to subscribe and make some noise for that YouTube algorithm so more people come in. And the more people that come in and see these things, the better it is for the price of crypto. So hit that like button and the subscription button. And now let's dive right into that, and we will go back to looking at the charts afterwards. So, what we have here is the first thing is the growth of the internet. This is logarithmic. To really be able to plot Bitcoin here, we need to be on a logarithmic scale. So this is like 0% of the people in the world, and this is 100. And as we can see in 1997, 2% of the people, or a little bit more, let's see, here, yeah, 2% of the people in the world, they used the internet. I got the internet back here and was one of 0.4 people who were on the internet back in 1995 with my first computer. And then we have the growth rate of Bitcoin. As we all know, Bitcoin started somewhere in 2009, and it was about 0% of the people in the world who had Bitcoin or had um, accounts on exchanges. I guess this is. He used really, really um, small uh, font here, but let's move in. So here we have the split between on-chain wallets and exchange wallet users. So let's zoom out a little bit. But here, before we had the exchanges, everyone who had Bitcoin were on the chain wallets. So here we have 0% when it starts. It's still 0%, 0%, 0% because this is logarithmic. He did not put on the scale on the chart that he put on Twitter, but I put on a scale here, and I know that it was 2% of the people using internet in 2000 and now in 1997. So we see the growth rate of internet users is it was about 60% year over year over year, and this is logarithmic. So now we're up at like 50-ish percent, I believe, or maybe it's a little bit more. The actual number of internet users right now is 65%, and the number of people who have exchange wallets or on the exchange or on-chain wallets, they are put together about 2% of the people in the world. So, if we look at this in another way, you can say that crypto is now at the same stage in its development as the internet was back in 1997. Would you buy Google shares? If you could go back in time, would you buy Google shares in 1997 or in 2000 or whenever, even if it were in a bubble? I think we know the answer to that. Would you care if you paid $100 for your Google share or $50? Because in 2022, that would not matter. You would be loaded. So, but Bitcoin is even better because it's growing at a much faster rate than what the internet did. At least for now. I think that growth is going to come down a little bit, but internet grew with 60% back here year over year. Bitcoin is growing with 113% right now, or the crypto space in general is growing with 130, 13%. And also you have PayPal, which is sort of following the same growth rate as Bitcoin. Um, and these three things, they kind of feed up on each other. The more internet users we have, the more PayPal users we have. The more PayPal users we have, or internet users we have, the more Bitcoin exchange wallets there will be, or on-chain wallets. So, Bitcoin is growing at a rate which are going to take us to a number in 2025 that we cannot even begin to imagine. Let's see how many Bitcoin users there will be in 2025 if we follow this growth rate. In 2025, we are going to have 16% of the people in the world owning crypto on an exchange or on an on-chain wallet. And I think this can either stagnate a little bit and say we grow with half the rate, just half the rate, we are still going to see massive adoption of cryptocurrencies among the world's population. So this is not the opportunity of a lifetime. It's not the opportunity of a decade. It's the opportunity of a millennium to get on this. And we had this as our first opportunity. And now we have this as a second opportunity just within one lifetime. We are the luckiest people that have ever lived on the planet Earth. And another good reason for me to think that Bitcoin is just going to go up in value is the fact that older people they are not into crypto, while the younger generations they are buying crypto. And as we know, the older generation they tend to leave this earth, and new people are born, and they transfer their wealth when they leave over to the younger generation, which do buy crypto. So I think we're going to see over the years a huge inflow of capital into to crypto, and also the people who are growing up now, they do not need to find out about Bitcoin by themselves. They get maybe soon education about it in school. And like my kid, he is walking past a Ethereum mining machine every day, and he knows that that mining machine is making money. So he will have a completely different understanding of cryptocurrency than most people who are alive now do. Just by being used to this while he is growing up, and he knows, okay, that machine there in the living room or wherever you have placed it, that machine is making money. So, as I said, this chart is not made by me, it's made by Willy Woo. So, go visit his website at wooble.com. I'll leave a link in the description. And you can also follow him on Twitter. And remember, the more people that you share this video with, the better it is for the price of Bitcoin. So, now let's go and look at the charts. So on rainy days, I like to zoom out and take a look at the weekly to see that we are still doing all right. As we can see, we broke out of this channel here into a new channel, and this support from the prior, I won't call them swing highs because it was right after a big crash or correction. But the swing highs from the bottom of this correction, that is holding for the time being. The worrying thing, the thing that worries me is that We had some closes beneath the 21 EMA. Historically, this have been a signal for the bear market to be up on us. And right now, we are just maybe closing right around it. So we need Bitcoin to pump a little bit before the end of the week, but we are still early in the week. So we did come under here after this huge, but I think this was a little bit of a black swan event. So I don't really want to put too much faith in this 21 EMA here. We had once before the price falling under here in the 2000 and Savesa dump. So that did not trigger a bear market, but when we broke above it, we triggered a very good bull market. And we had once more this, you can see here, one close under. That is the start of the bear market. This was in 2017. What about 2019? Yeah, same thing. And then we have 2014, one close under, bear market, but there is always a but. We're looking for the but. There was a weekly close in 2013 underneath the 21 EMA on the weekly, and we did recover and had a huge bull run. So knowing what we know from what we've seen on the adoption rate of Bitcoin and crypto, we are not worried that much at least. And same thing in 2011, one close under, bear market. But if we look at, yeah, if I could have bought it here, would I buy it here? Oh yes, I would. For 30, but one Bitcoin for $31. And then at the top of this, I could have sold it back 4 years later for $300. And for all the people who are still crazy enough to be on the sidelines, I want to show you the yellow line. This is my line of when I um, not feel, that's not the right word, when Bitcoin have been extremely cheap and when it's been a very good time to buy. Um, yes, we have fallen under it a few times, but these are mainly like black swan events, and it do start in like 2015 because before this there was completely different things driving the price of Bitcoin. So let's see how far off the magic yellow line we are now. Um, so now we are at a price of 40,000, an extremely cheap Bitcoin that I think I will never be able to buy again is now at 26,000. So if it were to fall to 26,000, that's when I would buy as much as I could. Um, this line is of course going upwards. So in January of this year, an extremely cheap Bitcoin where I buy as much as I can cost 33,000. So the more we are consolidating here, the closer we get to um, an opportunity to dump as much as we can into Bitcoin. So we can only hope that we reach this line. You need to think that, okay, you might have some Bitcoin now, it's fun when it goes up, but imagine the opportunity you get if we were to ever reach this line here. You would probably have um, 300% gains at least if you buy at this line here within a quite short time. Now let's take a quick look at the daily. We are currently breaking down from this triangle here, so we could If we don't manage to come up inside the triangle again, expect a little bit more downside for Bitcoin. As you can see, we already rallied a little bit today from the lows. We hit the VPVR support here. Um, as you can see, this tells you how much people bought Bitcoin at this price. So here's quite strong support. As we see, there was not much support at 42-ish, 41-ish. So we just blew through that down here, found support, and it went back up. But yeah, if we don't manage to get into this triangle again, this is the target to the downside, and it coincides with a nice VP VR support level. Um, I do think there will probably be a little bit more downside to Bitcoin on the very short term if we do not manage to get in within this triangle pretty quickly again. I think a lot will depend on the whole China situation and Evergrande and the stock market. Solana is pumping a little bit this day after the yesterday's very bad day, and I think we are just reaching our target here as we broke out of this descending channel here. So that was quite spot on. Um, this bull flag here might still be in play, but now I would say um, that we need to break out from this and then beat the prior swing high here, and then it's very possible that Solana will see further price action to the upside, but as we know, this have pumped quite a lot lately, so there is huge risk in buying Solana, but also huge potential if this bull flag is going to break out, which I don't think it's likely given the current situation, but it might be able to hold at least within this channel here. So I do think it's most likely we will see more downside on Solana until Bitcoin get out of the woods. So that is it for today. Thank you all for watching, and I see you next time. Remember to subscribe and bell notification, like and comment and all that to make noise for the algorithm, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.